Class. Today we discuss about the recombinant DNA technology. In today's lecture, we only discuss about the introduction regarding recombinant DNA technology and various tools which we are used in the recombinant DNA technology. So, and this topic is a very much important and very much core topic to your syllabus. So, and this topic is very important because it is asked regularly in exams. So let's see about what is recombinant DNA technology and which are the different tools which used in this recombinant DNA technology. So the specific learning objectives of this session are, at the end of the session you will be able to answer what is recombinant DNA technology and which are the different tools which we are used in the recombinant DNA technology. So the word says the genetic engineering. Engineering means to construct the something which is not present in the nature. So genetic engineering means engineering applied to the biological system. So this recombinant DNA technology is also called the genetic engineering technique. That is, it is applied to produce the hybrid DNA or recombinant DNA which is not exist in the nature. What in the recombinant DNA technology will do, that there is a synthesis of the hybrid DNA, the DNA which is not exist in the nature or normal living cells. It involves how we are doing produce the hybrid DNA or recombinant DNA. So first we break the DNA molecule at the desired places. So certain molecular DNA from the one species is broken down at the desired place. Then these portion of the DNA which we want in a large number or in the large proportion, then we break that DNA molecule from that host, from that original our interest of the DNA. Then that DNA we take and we will insert into the another DNA molecule. So by inserting to the another DNA molecule, then there is a propagation of the DNA replication, and the product this thus obtained is known as the recombinant DNA technology. Now why this technology we are using? Because suppose we are replicating the cell or we are producing the one, we want a one protein, as an example insulin. So insulin gene, if we are want insulin protein in a large proportion, means in a numbers of the insulin proteins are required. So if we want we multiply, we gives the replication to our normal human cell, then the replication is expression or replication will be the somewhat less in the eukaryotes than in the prokaryotes. So at a time if we want large number of the insulin protein, what we do, we first isolates that insulin gene from the human DNA. Then these insulin gene will be isolated, and after they will be inserted into the another DNA molecule. That another DNA molecule is from the prokaryotic cell. So now prokaryotic cell has a higher capacity to divide and rapidly to divide. So as the prokaryotic DNA is divide, along with that our DNA which we have inserted into the prokaryotic DNA, that also will be divide, and that divided molecule will produce the large number of the insulin gene in shorter period of the time. Then after that these insulin gene will be expressed, and then we will synthesize the mRNA from it, and then it will synthesize the protein. So in shorter duration we can gather large amount of the protein. As say example, we have seen example as a insulin, and most of the from this the insulin was the first protein which was synthesized by this technique, recombinant DNA technology. So this is the somewhat the highlight of the recombinant DNA technique, how it is synthesized. So suppose this is the plasmid. Plasmid is a double-stranded circular DNA from the bacterial cell, and this is the, suppose this is the donor DNA, that is the human DNA. So first this both the DNA, this is the human DNA, that is the linear chromosome DNA that contains is say insulin gene. Suppose we want to multiply the insulin gene, or we want a insulin protein in a large number. So one important enzyme that is known as the restriction endonuclease, the name from the E. coli restriction endonuclease is EcoR1. So these enzyme, they will cut the this this plasmid is also known as the vector, which can carry the our interest of the gene, that is the insulin gene. So these EcoR1 or restriction endonuclease, they will cut at specific sites recognized by that enzyme both into the plasmid, and same enzyme will produce the cut into the our host DNA, or there is a human DNA, that is the donor DNA. So as the this cut of the specific sequence of the cut by the restriction endonuclease, which are same in the both the nuclei, both the DNA. Here it is also, you can see in the one strand it cut at a this side GAATTC, so at a this side G site, and it also in another complementary state after the G it will produce the cut here. So there is a cut becomes at the two site, and this portion will be removed out, and from that this portion they will be inserted here, where actually there was a this palindromic site. Now this sequence, when you read from this side, suppose in the first strand GAATTC, if you read the sequence in the complementary strand from that this side GAATTC, so both the sequence are the similar. When we read from the backwards in the another complementary strand, so this type of the sequence is known as a palindromic sequence. You can see there is a palindromic sequence are present in the donor DNA also, it is also present in the plasmid DNA also. So these restriction endonuclease will put the cut in the palindromic sequence, so that there is a cut will be produced, and this cut is known as a cohesive cut or the sticky ends, because this can bind with the another DNA molecule and it will stick together. So same enzyme will produce the cut here, that is also a same sequence GAATTC, GAATTC. Here also GAATTC and GAATTC. So these double stranded molecule will be removed out from there, and they will be bind with the plasmid. By after cutting they will bind with the plasmid to sticky end cuts, and which the binding after there is a joining happens by the DNA ligase enzyme. This blank portion they will contains the insulin gene. We have not write here the complete sequence of the insulin gene. So there is a complete sequence of the insulin or any other interest of the gene, their sequence are present here. So when we are allow this plasmid to multiply or to grow into the bacterial medium, so along with this plasmid DNA also, this our inserted DNA or interest of the DNA, they will also becomes multiply, and after that we will be isolate it from the medium, and then we express into the protein, so we can have a large number of the protein at a time. So this is the importance of the recombinant DNA technology. These are the whole procedure of the recombinant DNA technology. First we take the human DNA, then we treat with the restriction endonuclease enzyme, then we also take the plasmid vector, that is also cleaved by the same restriction endonuclease enzyme. This plasmid is a vector, so this is a plasmid vector which contains the our interest of the gene, that is a human gene. Then now these plasmid containing human gene, they will be allowed to enter into the host cell bacteria, because when they will be introduced into the bacteria, they will multiply into the larger number. So this process is known as transfection, that is transport of plasmid into the bacteria cell. Then after that this bacteria in the culture appropriate medium, they will be allowed to grow. So this plasmid will also grow along with the bacteria. Then after that our bacterial containing the specific human gene plasmid, they will be selected out, by antibiotic sensitivity. The deep process we will discuss in the next class. Here we are seeing the just the outline of the whole procedure. Then after we have this our the clone, or there is a our specific interest of the DNA along with plasmid has been found, then they will be amplified into the larger number into the suitable media. After that we will isolate the protein from their expression of their our interest DNA. So like this procedure we can have a large number of the protein from our the one gene. So this is called the recombinant DNA technology. The techniques which produce the recombinant DNA. Recombinant DNA is also called the hybrid DNA, because in nature this type of the DNA is not exist, but we are by certain manipulation we are producing this recombinant DNA or hybrid DNA. The most portion composed of the bacterial DNA, some portion is composed of the human DNA. So it is the hybrid DNA, also known as the chimeric DNA. That is Indian mythology from the Narsimha. That Narsimha or Nursi avatar of God was containing the head from the lion while the body from the human. So same like that, this is also known as a chimeric DNA or recombinant DNA, or third name is the hybrid DNA. Now let's see which are the tools or which are the certain things which we are used in the recombinant DNA technology. So mainly four types of the tools are used in the recombinant DNA technology. One is the enzymes. Certain enzymes are used like the nuclease, mainly the restriction endonuclease and DNA ligase, to ligate or to bind the cut with each other. Then vectors, then hosts are used, then DNA which we want to clone, that is also used. So these are the four different tools. Let's discuss each in detail. So first, the what are the nucleases enzyme? Nucleases enzymes which break the phosphodiester bond in the DNA. There are the two types of the restriction nucleases enzymes, either endonuclease enzymes or exonuclease enzymes. Exonuclease means which remove the nucleotide from the ends of the DNA, which acts on the phosphodiester bond on the ends of the DNA. While endonuclease enzyme, they break the phosphodiester bond within the DNA molecule. The restriction endonuclease enzyme, they are the subgroups of the endonuclease, types of the endonuclease enzyme. But what is the property of the restriction endonuclease enzyme? They make the cut at specific recognition sequence in the DNA. Specific recognition sequence. Restriction endonuclease enzyme are also known as a molecular scissor, and short note can also be asked as a molecular scissor. So if it is asked as a molecular scissor, the short note can start from this slide. The restriction endonuclease, that are the enzymes that can produce the cut in the DNA at a very sequence specific manner, means at only the specific sites only the restriction endonuclease can produce the cut. It cannot produce the cut at random site in the DNA. And these restriction endonuclease enzyme, they are not found in the humans, but they are found into the bacteria mainly. And some we have the idea, might have the one idea that the if they are present in the bacterial DNA, then they may also produce the cut into the bacterial DNA, and they may degrade the bacterial DNA, so bacteria may die. But this is not happened actually. They protect the bacteria from the bacteriophage infection and restrict the viral replication. So it is known as the restriction enzyme, because bacteriophage means they are the virus that can infect the bacteria, and they will enter into the bacteria and they will infect the bacteria and they will degrade the bacteria. But this enzyme, they will produce the cut into the viral DNA at a specific site. So viral DNA becomes broken down into the smaller DNA, so it cannot be replicated there. So it will restrict the viral replication into the bacteria. So they are known as a restriction enzyme, as they restrict the viral replication. Now how the bacteria can remain from ill effects of this restriction endonuclease enzyme? So bacteria, what they will do, this bacteria will do methylation of the DNA at the specific sequence, which is recognition sequence of restriction endonuclease enzyme. So as they are methylated, this restriction endonuclease enzyme cannot produce the cut at their site. So how, by which mechanism? By methylation, the bacteria will protect their own DNA from the restriction endonuclease enzyme action. They are also known as a molecular scissors. Now, regarding the restriction endonuclease enzyme, there are the three different scientists work on the restriction endonuclease enzyme. Hamilton Smith was the scientist who has isolated the first restriction endonuclease enzyme. Then Daniel Nathans has the first time applied the enzyme to cut the DNA. They have seen the activity of the restriction endonuclease enzyme for the first time. Then Werner Arbor shows that this enzyme restricts the entry of phage into the host cell bacteria. So they restricts the entry of the bacteriophage or virus into the bacterial cell DNA, or they will restrict the active replication of the viral DNA into the host cell bacteria. Now nomenclature of the restriction endonuclease enzyme, how they will be given the name. So this is an example of the one restriction endonuclease enzyme. This is a eco R1. So how they will give us the name? First two letters are named as a italic, then third is a in the capital letter, and then last letter is a Roman numerical. Roman numerical is used. So first word in the capital letter of English, and it is in produce make in the italic form. So this suggests that it is a genus of the specific bacterium. Which is the specific bacteria is there? So it is a E means Escherichia. That is a E. coli means Escherichia coli. So Escherichia is the first is the genus. Then second two word in the italic form, but in the small letters. That is the shows the species of the specific genus. So E. coli, it is a E. coli is a species of the Escherichia bacterium. Then R, that is the strain of the organism. Which strain of the organism is there? Then last is the Roman numerical, which is the order of the discovery. So how this mechanism, that is a nomenclature of the different restriction endonuclease enzyme will be given. Now how restriction endonuclease they recognize the sequences? So restriction endonuclease enzyme has the specific recognition sites where they cut the DNA. Restriction endonuclease enzyme recognize the specific sequence with a palindromic arrangement. Now what do you mean by palindromic, which we have seen earlier in the second slide of this lecture, that when we read the both the sequence onto the complementary double stranded DNA, it means to run the backwards. If we read from the from the starting point to the last point, and if we read from the last point to the starting point again backwards, then both the sequence are the similar. Suppose like example, the word palindromic words are that madam. If you read from the first side MADAM, if you read from the backwards MADAM, so they are both are the similar. So it is a one palindromic word. So it, when it is a word, when we read from the either side, both from the front or the back side, the meaning are the same or sequence are the same. So those bacterial DNA or those DNA sequence which if we read from the both the sides, either from the front side or the back side, if they are similar, it is known as palindromic sequence. And bacteria restriction endonuclease enzyme, they only produce the cut into the palindromic sequence, which we have seen in the earlier slide. Then next word, another example is the rotor, ROTUR. If you read from the backward, ROTUR. Then another word is a nurses run, NURSESRUN. Then NURSESRUN. So these are the certain examples of the palindromic words. Same like of the palindromic sequence are also present into the host cell DNA also, or vector cell DNA also, or it is also present into the our human cell DNA also. So restriction endonuclease enzyme will have a specific site to cut into the palindromic sequence only. The palindromic specific sites are for the different recognition sequence, or known as a palindromic sequence for the different restriction endonuclease enzyme. Now the cleavage patterns. By producing the cut, either there may be the two types of the cut may be produced by the restriction endonuclease enzyme. One is even cut. Even means they produce the cut at a same site into the both the double stranded DNA, and it is known as even cut, which produce the blunt ends or flush ends. They cannot be joined directly with the another types of the DNA strand or DNA fragments. Another is a staggered cut, which producing the cohesive or sticky ends. I will take you to find out. હાલો થઈ ગયું સર આમાં મારા નહીં કયો તારા બતાવે જોતો ટોપિકલ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ રેકોર્ડિંગ ઘડીક વાર બંધ કરી દે ને ચેક થાય ત્યાં સુધી. So this is the staggered cut. We suppose this is the double stranded DNA sequence, and at here at the suppose this is the one restriction endonuclease enzyme, they will produce the cut here in one strand at this site. GATTC is the recognition sequence of that restriction endonuclease enzyme, and this is also the GATTC. So if you read from this site GATTC and another strand GAATTC, so they are both similar. So it is a palindromic arrangement into the double stranded DNA, and they will produce the cut here GA site, and in this strand also GA site. So they will produce, when they will be make the after the producing cut, they will be put apart from each other. They will produce a sticky ends, means it can bind with the another sticky ends of the DNA. This is the another figure of the sticky ends and the blunt end. So this is a sticky end figure, double stranded DNA. This is a nucleotide sequence. Here the enzyme produce the cut, and here the enzyme produced a cut, that is echo R1 enzyme, restriction endonuclease. So this type of the two different DNA strand is produced. This is the one, and this is another. This is the sticky ends, but this is the blunt end. That these Haemophilus influenza 3 type of the restriction endonuclease enzyme, they will produce the cut in between the GC sequence and at a linear sequence at a longitudinal sites directly, and it will produce the this type of the blunt ends. This is a blunt ends in the double stranded DNA. Mostly in recombinant DNA technology, enzymes, restriction endonuclease enzyme, they use which produce the sticky cuts, not blunt ends. Now what is restriction map? So when a segment of the DNA from the species is made to react with the specific restriction endonuclease enzyme, so if the this restriction endonuclease enzyme, they will produce the cut at the different segments of the DNA, because where they have a specific restriction sites of the particular restriction endonuclease enzyme. So there are the specific number of the cut species will be produced. This is called the restriction map. That is a large number of the DNA fragments are produced which has cut end at the specific sites at the similar to that of the restriction endonuclease enzyme. Restriction fragments, these are produced, that all restriction fragments are known as a fingerprint of the DNA, means that are specific to that the specific DNA that is produced by the particular restriction endonuclease enzyme. What is the use of the restriction endonuclease enzyme? So these enzymes are also used to analyze the chromosome and their structure, means it is a long strand of the linear strand of the double stranded DNA are present into the DNA. Then they will be broken down into the small species by the specific restriction endonuclease enzyme, and after the small fragments we can easily analyze the nucleotide sequence which are present into the whole chromosome. Then if we want to produce the sequencing of the very large DNA molecule, we can also use this restriction endonuclease enzyme to isolate the certain genes. If like in the restriction and RDNA technology, if we want to isolate the specific, suppose insulin gene, so according to that specific restriction endonuclease enzyme are used, so they will produce the cut around that particular interest of the gene only, so we can isolate our interest of the gene. Then to create a new DNA molecules for cloning, that we are producing the hybrid DNA into the recombinant DNA, that by produce activity of the same type of the restriction endonuclease enzyme to our vector, plasmid vector also, and to our the human DNA also, so they will produce the same type of the cut in the both the double stranded DNA, and then we will introduce that our interest of the DNA into the plasmid vector, so there is a cloned DNA is produced, or it is a hybrid DNA, or there is a chimeric DNA or recombinant DNA. It is also used as a DNA fingerprinting method, that is which type of the specific sequence are present into the DNA, that is DNA fingerprinting, which we have seen into the restriction map. So that was all about the molecular scissor enzymes or restriction endonuclease enzymes. Now another enzyme is the DNA ligase enzyme. So we all know that what is the function of the DNA ligase? To join the different cut DNA. The enzymes that join the together the cut DNA fragments covalently, means by strong bond, that is the phosphodiester bond. We have already seen the activity of the DNA ligase into the DNA repair process, which we have discussed into the DNA repair mechanism. And they work like the molecular glue, means they will join together the two cut DNA or DNA nucleotides, so they also known as a molecular glue. Now vectors, sometimes short note is also asked, vectors of recombinant DNA technology or as simple vectors. So what is the vectors? They are actually useful for to carry the our interest of the gene. They are used for the gene cloning, means so our interest of the gene, if we want in a large number, then they are used to first produce the chimeric DNA or recombinant DNA, and then they will be transported into the bacteria for their multiplication. An ideal vector is a should be a following properties. Which type of the properties should be in the ideal vector? So it must have a low molecular weight vector. It must have a unique cleavage site for the activity of the restriction enzyme at a single point, which we have seen in the plasmid vector slide, that in which there is a specific site, unique cleavage site is present for the restriction endonuclease enzyme activity. Then it must have the ability to replicate inside the host cell. Once we produce the chimeric DNA, when we are transported into the our host cell DNA, that is bacterial cell DNA, then and then they will be multiply there, and they will produce the large number of the interest cell DNA. So it must have ability to replicate into the host cell. Then it must contain certain genes which provide the resistance to the antibiotics. Why it is required? Because if they are this antibiotic resistance is also useful to identify the our interest of the colony, which we discuss into the next lecture. Now which are the different types of the vector which are used in the recombinant DNA technology? Like plasmids we are used, bacteriophage we are also used, cosmids which we are used, and artificial chromosome vectors which we are used. So what is plasmid? So plasmid has a several property, like bacterial plasmid are the small circular double stranded DNA molecule whose function is to confer the natural antibiotic resistance to the host cell. So we have seen that there is a in our plasmids are present into the bacterial cell, double stranded DNA, and there is a certain gene which has produced the antibiotic resistance. to the host cell. They replicate independently from the bacterial cell DNA also. It doesn't require the bacterial, it doesn't like that the bacterial cell when becomes multiply then and then these plasmid multiply, but it replicates independently. What is the advantage of the plasmid? Because the complete sequence of the plasmid is known to us, they can easily isolated from the bacteria. They can be easily reintroduced into the bacterium due to their small size during the transfection after we have produced the chimeric DNA. Then they also carry the antibiotic resistance gene, so they cannot die easily. How the plasmid's name is given? Nomenclature. So they designated by lowercase first, like as an example, small case p, first letter of the researcher's name, and numerical number is given. First letter is small, that is the vector is the plasmid, so it is a small p. Then two letters is from the researcher's name br. Then Roman mathematical number, that is the number in which they have been identified. The P is plasmid Br discovery by the Bolivar and Rodriguez, and 322 number is allotted to that particular plasmid number. Some are named from the places where they have also discovered. This is the one figure of the plasmid. You can see there is a different types of the, this is the double stranded DNA which you see in the orange slide. Then different types of the AMP, TET or origin of the replication. That once if the plasmid wants to multiply, the replication starts here. That is a, so whole plasmid sequence is known to us. So that is advantage to us. Then they also contains this type of the, suppose it is an AMP site TET means this gene they will produce a certain protein which will produce the resistance against ampicillin drug. This gene produce the resistance against tetracycline drug. And how much total base pairs are present? 4361 base pairs are present. And that base pair particular sequence by different restriction endonuclease enzyme like EcoR1 act here, HIND3 act here, EcoRV act here, BAMH1 act here, SAL1 act here. Like these are the another different types of the each and every restriction endonuclease has specific cut sequence which we are known to us into the plasmid. So it is a very routinely used as a vector for the recombinant DNA technology. Then bacteriophage is another type of the vector. What is bacteriophage? That virus replicate inside the bacteria. The phage vectors can take tiny fragments of the foreign DNA into their genome. Only small fragments of the interest DNA can be taken by the bacteriophage only. Their DNA is inserted into the bacterial chromosome and remains there. So along with bacterial DNA, the bacteriophage DNA is also multiplied along with our interest DNA which we have inserted while we have produced the chimeric DNA. They accept one advantage of the bacteriophage over the plasmid is that they can accept larger DNA segment than the plasmid. Commonly used phases are bacteriophage 1 and phase M13. Another are the cosmids. They like the plasmid that contains the DNA sequence which is the cos site, means which is required of packaging of the lambda DNA into the phase particle. It is a specific type of the plasmid only. These vectors grow into the plasmid form into the bacteria. Another is routinely used like the artificial chromosome vector that we are routinely used while production of the large number of the insulin by recombinant DNA technology. This is actually human artificial chromosome is synthesized into the laboratory produced by the vector DNA. That is a useful as a vector DNA, artificial chromosome vectors. It is a self-replicating microchromosomes. It can carry the human genes too long in the size. So it is a, when if we want to product of a large genome, then as a vector artificial chromosome vectors are used. They also plays a key role into the gene therapy also. Two types of the artificial chromosome has been found. Yeast and bacterial artificial chromosome vectors can accept DNA fragments of several hundred kilobases. Now another word is the expression vector. expression vector, express means to express the gene of the vector into the mRNA and to the protein. So those vector carrying the foreign DNA which is translated into the protein is called the expression vector. Suppose we want to direct the insulin protein. If we introduce this insulin gene into the one vector, and if this vector is expression vector means it can express their gene into the mRNA and to the protein, we can directly take we can have the directly the protein, that is the insulin protein, our interest of the protein. So that type of the vector is known as expression vector. Now choice of the vector, how we are we choose the vector for the different recombinant DNA technology. They are choice according to their ability to take up the foreign DNA, that is the size of the foreign DNA is crucial in making the vector of the choice of the vector. Like different vector, it can take the how much size of the DNA. So plasmid PEBR 322 take only the small number of the 0.01 to 10 kb kilobase pair foreign DNA only. Bacteriophage somewhat larger 10 to 20 kb. Cosmids 35 to 50 kilobytes kilo base pairs, sorry, this is kilo base pairs. Then bacterial artificial chromosome 50 to 250 kilo base pairs. Yeast artificial chromosome 500 to 3000 kilo base pairs. Last is the hosts. Hosts, they are the living system or cells in which the carrier of the recombinant DNA molecule or vector can be propagated, in which actually we are transporting our the chimeric DNA into the cell. Eukaryotic cell like the fungi and the plants is used, and prokaryotic cell like the bacteria. Routinely bacteria we are using for the recombinant DNA technology. Generally microorganisms are preferred as the host cell since they multiply faster as compared to the higher organism. So prokaryotic cell are routinely used for the recombinant DNA technology. So this was all about today's lecture, in which we have discussed what is recombinant DNA technology, which are the different tools of the recombinant DNA technology, like certain enzymes, certain vectors which we are using, and different types of the host cells. So MCQ, restriction endonucleases are present in either they are present in virus, in bacteria, in eukaryotes, or all of the above. So we have seen that they are present into the bacteria. So answer is B. Then restriction endonuclease are enzymes that they cut the RNA chains at the specific location. They excise the introns from the RNA, mRNA. They remove the Okazaki fragments, or they act as a defensive enzymes to protect the host bacterial DNA from foreign DNA. So answer is D, because they produce the defensive enzymes. So why their name is a restriction enzymes? They protect the host bacterial DNA from the foreign DNA. So answer is D. Then last MCQ is restriction endonucleases has following characteristics, except they cut the DNA specific sequence. They named according to the bacteria from the isolated. Most of the DNA sequences recognized by it are palindromic, or they cut the DNA at random sites. As our question is except, so they cannot produce the cut at randomly into the DNA, but they make the cut at specific site. So our answer is D. So thanks for attention in today's lecture. This video lecture will be uploaded into the YouTube.